Good evening. Thanks for joining us tonight. State authorities and Two Rivers community members continue their search tonight for a 3-year-old boy who went missing about 8 o'clock this morning.
An active Amber Alert was issued early this afternoon for Elijah Vue. He was last seen at his caregiver's residence on Mishicot Road in Two Rivers. Take a closer look at his picture. Elijah is 3 feet tall, 45 pounds, dark brown hair and brown eyes, and a birthmark on his left knee. He was last seen wearing gray sweatpants, a long-sleeved dark colored shirt, red and green dinosaur slip-on shoes.
Bill, the entire community in shock tonight, believing that a child may have been abducted. Right now, a massive search is underway for Elijah Vue, with hundreds of volunteers and people coming in from all across northeast Wisconsin to help out. Elijah's family watches in disbelief. We spoke to the uncle, making a plea for someone to come forward with information.
I mean, if they know where he is, we'd love to have him back. Other than that, we're as clueless as everyone else.
Pretty scary situation, I can only guess.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
No, Deanna, 2 days of nonstop searching. Police finally broke their silence about this case, but didn't shed any light on what they think happened to Elijah.
Assure them and the public that we are doing everything in our power to bring Elijah home safely.
Investigators pleading for help from the public.
Anyone with any information, no matter how insignificant it may seem, please come forward and share that.
But not sharing any new information or answering questions from 12 News.
In the quiet town of Two Rivers, Wisconsin, a mother's decision to send her 3-year-old son, Elijah Vue, to a boot camp with her boyfriend would set in motion a heart-wrenching mystery that has left a community desperate for answers. The story of Elijah Vue's disappearance begins on February 12th when his mother, Katrina Bauer, made the fateful choice to send her young son to stay with Jesse Vang, a man she believed could teach Elijah to be a man. The reasons behind this decision remain unclear, but the consequences would soon prove devastating. 8 days later, an Amber Alert was issued in Two Rivers, signaling that Elijah was missing and launching a frantic search effort by law enforcement and concerned citizens alike.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us tonight. State authorities and Two Rivers community members continue their search tonight for a 3-year-old boy who went missing about 8 o'clock this morning.
An active Amber Alert was issued early this afternoon for Elijah Vue. He was last seen at his caregiver's residence on Mishicot Road in Two Rivers. Take a closer look at his picture. Elijah is 3 feet tall, 45 pounds, dark brown hair and brown eyes, and a birthmark on his left knee. He was last seen wearing gray sweatpants, a long-sleeved dark colored shirt, red and green dinosaur slip-on shoes. It's possible he's also carrying a red and white blanket.
Jason Zimmerman is live in Two Rivers with more details on this extensive search for this little boy. Jason.
Bill, the entire community in shock tonight, believing that a child may have been abducted. Right now, a massive search is underway for Elijah Vue, with hundreds of volunteers and people coming in from all across northeast Wisconsin to help out. As police, firefighters, and a large number of volunteers conduct a search of the Two Rivers area for 3-year-old Elijah Vue, Elijah's family watches in disbelief. We spoke to the uncle, making a plea for someone to come forward with information.
I mean, if they know where he is, we'd love to have him back. Other than that, we're as clueless as everyone else.
Pretty scary situation, I can only guess.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
At one point, we caught up with police after items were found outside an apartment complex, but they wouldn't confirm whether those items belonged to Elijah. Many of those helping with the search for the young boy are parents themselves or work at the school.
And it's just terrifying because I work with kids, and it's like I work for the school district in here, and it's like, oh my God, this could be a little kid I could know. You know, and it's just terrifying.
I couldn't imagine it being me in that situation. I would want as many people as can be to be looking for my child.
As the investigation unfolded, both Katrina Bauer and Jesse Vang found themselves facing serious charges related to child neglect, casting a shadow of suspicion over their actions leading up to Elijah's disappearance.
Today, Elijah's mother, Katrina Bauer, appeared in court. Bauer and Jesse Vang, a man who lived at their home, were both arrested on an allegation of child neglect. One of the boys' relatives asked the court to make sure Bauer and Vang are available to answer questions from police.
They are the last two to have seen our baby Elijah, and at this moment are the prime suspects. So until we find the truth as to the whereabouts of Elijah, we would like to make sure that these two are readily available for questioning.
The judge set bail for Bauer at $15,000 and bail for Vang at $20,000. They are not allowed to have any contact with each other or any child under the age of 18.
In the days and weeks that followed, the search for Elijah would consume the small community of Two Rivers. Law enforcement agencies, search and rescue teams, and countless volunteers dedicated themselves to scouring the area for any trace of the missing boy. From local waterways and landfills to quarries and surrounding areas, no stone was left unturned in the desperate effort to bring Elijah home. As the search expanded, investigators began following leads in Wisconsin Dells, where Katrina Bauer resides. The hope was that these leads might provide crucial information about Elijah's whereabouts or shed light on the events leading up to his disappearance. The collaboration between law enforcement agencies in both Two Rivers and Wisconsin Dells became essential in piecing together the puzzle of Elijah's case. To encourage the public to come forward with any information that could aid in the search, the FBI offered a substantial $15,000 reward. This reward, coupled with an additional $1,000 offered by Manitowoc County Crime Stoppers, served as a powerful incentive for anyone with knowledge of Elijah's whereabouts to speak up and help bring him home safely. As the days turned into weeks, the community of Two Rivers rallied around the search effort. Residents were urged to thoroughly check their properties for any signs of Elijah or items that might be relevant to the investigation. They were asked to search areas where a small child could hide, climb, or fall, and to be on the lookout for any objects that seemed out of place. The police department also requested that residents review their surveillance footage from February 12th to February 20th, hoping that someone might have captured a glimpse of Elijah or individuals matching his description. Despite the tireless efforts of law enforcement and the unwavering support of the community, the search for Elijah Vue has yet to yield the answers that so many desperately seek. The mystery surrounding his disappearance has left a town grappling with a mix of emotions, from fear and frustration to hope and determination. As the investigation continues, the nation watches and waits, hoping for a breakthrough that will bring Elijah home and provide the closure that his family and community so desperately need. The case of Elijah Vue serves as a stark reminder of the fragility of life and the importance of cherishing and protecting the most vulnerable among us. In the face of such a heart-wrenching tragedy, we are left with more questions than answers. How could a mother's decision to send her child away lead to such a devastating outcome? What happened to Elijah in the days leading up to his disappearance, and where could he be now? Will the tireless efforts of law enforcement and the community eventually uncover the truth and bring Elijah home safely? As we ponder these questions, we must also ask ourselves what we can do to support the search for Elijah and to prevent similar tragedies from occurring in the future. How can we, as a society, work together to ensure the safety and well-being of all children? What lessons can we learn from this case, and how can we use them to create a world where no child has to endure the pain and suffering that Elijah and his family have experienced? The disappearance of Elijah Vue has touched the hearts of people across the nation, and it is our collective responsibility to keep his story alive until he is found. We must continue to support the efforts of law enforcement, to keep Elijah's name and face in the public eye, and to hold on to the hope that one day he will be reunited with his loved ones. Until then, the search for answers continues, and the memory of a bright-eyed 3-year-old boy named Elijah Vue will forever remain etched in our hearts.
Katrina Bauer, the mother of Elijah, and Jesse Vang, the man that lived in their home, appeared in court where they were formally charged. As of now, Bauer is charged with 1 count of neglecting a child and 2 counts of resisting or obstructing an officer. Vang was charged with 1 count of neglecting a child. Prosecutors say Vang told investigators he was babysitting the boy but fell asleep last Tuesday morning. He says that when he woke up, the boy was missing and he called 911 around 11 a.m. Bauer told investigators that she had left the boy in Vang's care for about a week. Both Bauer and Vang say the boy was left in Vang's care as a punishment for, quote, bad behavior. The